Homework. That was funny. Is that seriously all I'm going to say? Homework? I mean, most of the time it's not even... Why would I even say that? I guess just... because sometimes I may record a video on the OBS that is not intended to be uploaded to that channel. So... But if I say homework, that means that is that type of video. But anyways. So... Back to what we were doing, or what we need to be doing here. I have decided to do an assignment today at 4 p.m. instead of tomorrow morning. So good for me. Wow. It's a perfectly... I hate that I have to sign in every time I want to access my textbook. Dang it. Come on. Don't make me sign in every time. Stop. Remember your email address. No. Don't make me sign in every time, please. Whoops. That was a funny sniffy. Well, we need to finish this chapter. I wonder if I should read it out loud. I used to read my textbooks out loud. Maybe I'll read the rest of it out loud or something. I wish it had saved my place, stupid idiotic thing. Why can't it do the simple thing of saving my place in the textbook? It's so simple to do that. But anyways. Let's see what page I'm on here. Employee relationships. Employee. I could have sworn I was on like page 20. Wasn't I on page 20? Employee relationships? Is this where I was before? Yeah, I think I was. I thought I was on employee motivation though. Was I on employee motivation or employee relationships? I thought I was on motivation. Oh, I was on motivation because I remember this stuff. I remember reading all this stuff like the Mars model or whatever. So we are on motivation. So we have less than 10 pages left. Nice. I think maybe I will read it out loud just because maybe I have a better chance of getting through it faster if I read it. Oh, great. You know what's funny? Like, before... I recorded a 35-minute vlog and then a 19-minute vlog before doing this. But at least I'm doing it. Because if it was former me, my God, that sounds cringe. There's got to be a better way to say this. If it was me from a year ago, I would not be sitting here doing this right now. I would be waiting until tomorrow to do it. So, yeah, I'm starting at 4, but who cares? At least I'm still better than before. That was fun. Stop. So, we're going to be extremely cringe and read this out loud, even though there's people upstairs. I don't know if they can even hear me. Can they hear me talking down here? Employee motivation. Motivation is an interesting concept because that is the thing I struggle with the most in completing my assignments is motivation. I don't feel motivated to do assignments ever. The reason why I'm motivated to do this right now is because of all of the failures that I've had in the past of completing assignments on time and the fact that I had to drop 2 classes. And it cost me tons of money. And it may have single-handedly caused, it may have Actually, if I hadn't had to drop those 2 classes, I might be finishing school a semester earlier than what I now have to do. That was funny. My motivation to do this right now is the fact that I dropped 2 classes and I skipped tons of assignments before. Okay, stop. Motivation represents the forces within a person that affect his or her direction, intensity, and persistence of effort for voluntary behavior. What a fun sentence. Really, do I need to study what the word motivation means? Direction refers to the path along which people steer their effort. In other words, motivation is goal-directed, not random. People have choices about what they are trying to achieve and at what level of quality, quantity, and so forth. They are motivated to arrive at work on time, finish a project a few hours early, or aim for many other targets. The second element of motivation, intensity, is the amount of effort allocated to the goal. Intensity is all about how much people push themselves to complete a task. 2 employees might be motivated to finish their project within the next few hours, but only one of them puts forth enough effort to achieve this goal. Or intensity. The third element is persistence, which refers to the length of time that the individual continues to exert effort toward an objective. Employees sustain their effort until they reach their goal or give up beforehand. Wow. To help remember these 3 elements of motivation, consider the metaphor. I don't want you to help me remember stuff. I don't need that. Driving a car in which the thrust of the engine is your effort. I don't like metaphors. Direction is where you steer it. Intensity is how much you put your foot down the gas pedal. Persistence is for how long you drive towards your destination. So here's the thing. I think the of effort in this sentence was supposed to refer to all 3 of these things. That's what I missed in the first time I read it. But anyways. Motivation is a force that exists within individuals. It is not their actual behavior. These are all thoughts. Direction, intensity, and persistence are cognitive thoughts and emotional conditions that directly cause us to move. Motivation. The forces within a person that affect his or her direction, intensity, and persistence of voluntary behavior. Ability. Ability is the natural aptitudes and learned capabilities required to successfully complete a task. Oh, I think what we're looking at is the Mars thing right now. We're looking at Mars, motivation, ability, role perceptions, and situational factors. Ability. Employee abilities also make a difference in behavior and task performance. Ability includes both the natural aptitudes and the learned capabilities required to successfully complete a task. Aptitudes are the natural talents that help employees learn specific tasks more quickly and perform them better. For example, finger dexterity is an aptitude by which individuals learn more quickly and potentially achieve higher performance at picking up and handling small objects with their fingers. Employees with high finger dexterity are not necessarily better than others at first. Rather, they usually learn the skill faster and eventually reach a higher level of performance. Learned capabilities are the physical and mental skills and knowledge you have acquired. They tend to wane over time when not in use. Aptitudes and learned capabilities, skills, and knowledge are the main elements of a broader concept called competencies. Which are characteristics of a person that result in superior performance. Like, I had a professor that liked to use that word all the time. That's why I laughed when I saw that word. Oh wow, that's funny. What is this? That was funny. Receive insufficient training and development. Lack of tools. Nice surveys and stuff. That was a sniffy. No. Water. The challenge is to match a person's abilities with the job's requirements. Because a good match tends to increase employee performance and well-being, one matching strategy is to select applicants who already demonstrate their required competencies. For example, companies ask applicants to perform work samples, provide references for checking their past performance, and complete various selection tests. A second strategy is to train employees who lack specific knowledge or skills needed for the job. The third-person job matching strategy is to redesign the job so that employees are given tasks only within their current abilities. For example, a complex task might be simplified. Some aspects of the work are transferred to others so that a new employee performs only tasks that he or she is currently able to perform. As the employee becomes more competent at these tasks, other tasks are added back into the job. Role perceptions. Along with motivation and ability, holy freaking crap, I just realized that this song is remixed at a different point. Is it here? Yeah, it's this one. Why on earth is the chord so weird? that the whole song, or does it loop? Sounds like that was just a loop. But anyways. Along with motivation and ability, employees require accurate role perceptions to perform their jobs well. Role perceptions refer to how clearly people understand their job duties. That was funny. Haha, dude. These perceptions range from role clarity to role ambiguity. Role ambiguity may be a serious problem in organizations. When 7,000 employees in a global survey were asked what would most improve their performance, greater clarity about what the organization needs from me was identified as the most important factor. The degree, role perceptions, the degree to which a person understands the job duties assigned to or expected of him or her. Role clarity exists in three forms. First, employees have clear role perceptions when they understand the specific duties or consequences for which they are accountable. This may seem obvious, but people are occasionally evaluated on job duties they were never told were within their zone of responsibility. This lack of role clarity may be an increasing concern as organizations move away from precisely defined job descriptions to broader work responsibilities. Second, role clarity exists when employees understand the priority of their various tasks and performance expectations. This is illustrated in the classic dilemma of quantity versus quality, such as how many customers to serve in an hour versus how well each customer should be served. Role clarity in the form of task priorities also exists in the dilemma of allocating personal time and resources, such as how much time managers should devote to coaching employees versus meeting with customers. Third form of role clarity involves understanding the preferred behaviors or procedures for accomplishing tasks. Role ambiguity exists when an employee knows 2 or 3 ways to perform a task, but misunderstands which of these the company prefers. Role perceptions are important because they represent how well employees know where to direct their effort. Employees with role clarity perform work more accurately and efficiently, whereas those with role ambiguity waste considerable time and energy performing the wrong tasks or in the wrong way. Furthermore, role clarity is essential for coordination with coworkers and other stakeholders. For instance, performers at Cirque du Soleil depend on one another to perform precise behaviors at exact times, such as catching each other in midair. Role clarity ensures that these expectations are met and that troops' performances are executed safely. Finally, role clarity motivates employees. Because they have a higher belief that their effort will produce the expected outcomes. In other words, people are more confident when they know what is expected of them. Situational factors, individual behavior and performance. Individual behavior and performance also depend on the situation, which is any context beyond the employee's immediate control. The situation has two main influences on individual behavior and performance. One influence is that the work context constrains or facilitates behavior and performance. Employees who are motivated and skilled and know their role obligations will nevertheless perform poorly if they lack time, budget, physical work facilities, and other resources. The second influence is that the work environment provides cues to guide and motivate people. For example, companies install barriers and warning signs in dangerous areas. These workplace features are situational factors that cue employees to avoid the nearby hazards. Okay then. Types of individual behavior. The four elements of the Mars model, motivation, ability, role perceptions, and situational factors, affect all voluntary workplace behaviors and performance. There are many varieties of individual behavior, but most can be organized into the 5 categories described in this section. Task performance, organizational citizenship, counterproductive work behaviors, joining and staying with the organization, and maintaining work attendance. Task performance. I think I read to page 31, right? If I want to read the summary, read basically to this right here. Task performance. Refer to the individual's voluntary goal-directed behaviors that contribute to the organizational objectives. Most jobs require incumbents to complete several tasks. For example, foreign exchange traders at Morgan Stanley must be able to identify and execute profitable trades, work cooperatively with clients and coworkers, assist in training new staff, and work on special telecommunications equipment without error. These tasks involve working with people, data, things, and ideas. Foreign exchange traders mainly work with data, e.g. performing technical analysis of trends, people, sharing, e.g. sharing information with coworkers and clients, and ideas, interpreting charts and company reports. Task performance. The individual's voluntary goal-directed behaviors that contribute to organizational objectives. There are 3 types of task performance. Proficient. Adaptive and proactive. Proficient task performance refers to performing the work efficiently and accurately. It involves accomplishing the assigned work at or above the expected standards of quality, quantity, and other indicators of effectiveness. Adaptive task performance refers to how well employees modify their thoughts and behavior to align with and support a new or changing environment. Essentially, adaptive task performance is about how well employees respond to change in the workplace and in their job duties. Proactive task performance refers to how well employees take the initiative to anticipate and introduce new work patterns that benefit the organization. Proactive behaviors bring about change in oneself, coworkers, and the workplace to achieve what is perceived to be a better future for the organization. Employees are expected to perform their work proficiently. However, adaptive and proactive task performance are also important, particularly when the work is ambiguous or dynamic. These conditions exist when the client's expectations are unclear, resources to perform the work have uncertain availability, and the methods used to perform the work are rapidly evolving due to emerging technology. Organizational citizenship. Employee behavior extends beyond performing specific tasks. It also includes organizational citizenship behaviors, which are various forms of cooperation and helpfulness to others that support the organization's social and psychological context. Some organizational citizenship behaviors are directed toward individuals, such as assisting coworkers with their work problems, adjusting your work schedule to accommodate coworkers, showing genuine courtesy toward coworkers, and sharing your work resources, supplies, technology, staff with coworkers. Other organizational citizenship behaviors represent cooperation and helpfulness toward the organization, such as supporting the company's public image, offering ideas beyond those required for your own job, attending events that support the organization. And keeping up with new developments in the organization. Some forms of organizational citizenship are discretionary behaviors. Employees don't have to perform them, whereas other organizational citizenship behaviors are job requirements, even if they aren't explicitly stated in job descriptions. Organizational citizenship behaviors can have a significant effect on individual, team, and organizational effectiveness. Employees who help others have higher task performance because they receive more support from coworkers. OCBs also increase team performance where members depend on one another. However, engaging in OCBs can also have negative consequences. OCBs take time and energy away from performing tasks. So employees who give more attention to OCBs risk lower career success in companies that reward task performance. Also, employees who frequently perform OCBs tend to have higher work-family conflicts because of the amount of time required for these activities. Man, my nose is still stuffed up even though I... Nice job. It's so weird how the first test in our class is over just chapter 1. Like, look at this. Unit 1 exam. Unit 1 only includes this one thing. Does it say what it includes? It doesn't say, dude. It doesn't say. And this one has essay questions, dude. Wonder why you need your textbook. Why can't you just do it without your textbook? But anyways, Unit 1 exam. But Unit 2 has 4 parts to it. Unit 1 only has 1 part. And Unit 1 exam is on the 12th. Is that a Sunday or Saturday? I think that's Sunday. 5 days. Doesn't say what day it is. Counterproductive work behaviors. Organizational behavior is interested in all workplace behaviors. Including dysfunctional activities collectively known as counterproductive work behaviors. CWBs are voluntary behaviors that have the potential to directly or indirectly harm the organization or its stakeholders. This concept includes a wide array of behaviors, both intentional and unintentional, such as harassing coworkers, creating unnecessary conflict, deviating from preferred work methods, e.g. shortcuts that undermine work quality, being untruthful, stealing, sabotaging work, and wasting resources. CWBs are not minor concerns. Research suggests that they can substantially undermine the organization's effectiveness. Joining and staying with the organization. Companies suffer and potentially fail if they can't hire and retain enough people with the right skills and knowledge to perform their work. This isn't a hypothetical statement. The United States and several other countries are experiencing significant economic growth, which has pushed the demand for some skills well beyond the available supply. One major survey recently reported that 45% of 39,000 employers across 200 countries said they can't find enough people with the skills needed. This problem is worse in large organizations where more than 2/3 report a significant skills shortage. For example, Boeing is facing a shortage of aviation production workers as it scrambles to satisfy increased demand for its aircraft. As a short-term measure, the aerospace giant is even enticing retirees to come back to work. Hospitals in several countries have temporarily shut beds due to a shortage of nurses. One small community hospital in the United Kingdom recently closed completely because it was unable to hire enough nurses. No, I pushed the wrong button. Now I'm completely screwed up. Dang it. Okay, almost there. God dang it. Organizational citizenship behaviors. Various forms of cooperation and helpfulness to others that support the organization's social and psychological context. Counterproductive work behaviors. Voluntary behaviors that have the potential to directly or indirectly harm the organization. Even when companies are able to hire qualified staff in the face of shortages, they need to ensure that these employees stay with the company. Earlier in this chapter, we explained that human capital is arguably the organization's main source of competitive advantage. The importance of human capital is particularly apparent when employees quit. Those who leave remove valuable knowledge, skills, and relationships with coworkers and external stakeholders, all of which take time for new staff to acquire. In later chapters, we identify other problems with employee turnover, such as its adverse effect on customer service, team development, and corporate culture strength. Employee turnover does offer some benefits, such as opening up positions so new employees with fresh ideas can be hired and removing people with a tendency for counterproductive work behaviors, but overall, turnover usually has a negative effect on organizational effectiveness. Hey, look at this. Shortage of professional truck drivers. My dad is a truck driver. And my dad said, I don't know, this is confidential, but he said he recently got a raise because apparently they're kind of struggling to find drivers, which is this exact thing that they're talking about. That was funny. So they're like raising the starting pay so that they can attract more people. But anyways, maintaining work attendance, along with attracting and retaining employees. Oh, we almost through. I think this is the end here. We're basically at the end. There's like a few more paragraphs. Maintaining work attendance along with attracting and retaining employees. And organizations need everyone to show up for work at scheduled times, whether in person or through remote work arrangements. American employees are absent from scheduled work with an average of only 5 days per year. That's not very many. How many times did I skip my work at my other job? Like, even when I skipped my work, I would just come in like another day to make up for it. But anyways, because there was no substitute to do my job. I was the only person doing the job. Although I guess technically the employees of the AT&T could have done some of the stuff that I didn't do, but whatever. Yeah, even low absenteeism can lead to increased workloads or overtime among coworkers, lower performance by temporary staff filling the vacant position. Poorer coordination in the work process, poorer customer service, and potentially more workplace accidents. What are the main causes of absenteeism and lateness? Employees often point to situational factors such as bad weather, transit strike. What? Transit strike? What does that mean? Like personal illness and family demands, sick children. Some absenteeism occurs because employees need to get away from workplace bullying, difficult customers, boring work, and other stressful conditions. Absenteeism is also higher in an organization with generous sick leave because this benefit minimizes the financial loss of taking time away from work. Another factor in absenteeism is the person's values and personality. Finally, studies report that absenteeism is higher in teams with strong absence norms, meaning that team members tolerate and even expect coworkers to take time off. Although most companies focus on minimizing absenteeism, a more serious behavior may be presenteeism, showing up for work when unwell, injured, preoccupied by personal problems, or faced with dangerous conditions. Getting to work. These employees tend to be less productive and may reduce the productivity of coworkers. In addition, they may worsen their own health. and increase health and safety risks for coworkers. Presenteeism is more common among employees with low job security, such as new and temporary staff, employees who lack sick leave pay or similar financial buffers, and those whose absence would immediately affect many people. Personality, which we discuss in Chapter 2, also motivates some people to show up for work when others would gladly recover at home. Fun extra box. That is so terrible to go to work as a doctor and you yourself are sick. That doesn't make any sense. What about if you have a cold? What if you just have a little cold? This last paragraph is bleh. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, chapter summary. This might be pointless to read this chapter summary, but I'll read it. Great. Define organizational behavior and organizations. Organizational behavior is the study of what people think, feel, and do in and around organizations. That's funny. It examines how individuals and teams in organizations relate to one another and how organizations interact with their external environments. This field of knowledge emerged around the early 1940s, but organizations have been studied by other disciplines for more than 2,000 years. Organizations are groups of people who work interdependently toward some purpose. They consist of people who interact with one another in an organized way and have a collective sense of purpose. That was a sniffy. Explain why organizational behavior knowledge is important for you and for organizations. Organizational behavior is important for you. Because it offers a core foundation of knowledge and skill development for your success in organizations. The skills and knowledge that employees look for in new hires above anything else are the topics found in organizational behavior, including problem solving, working effectively in teams, communication, and leadership. More broadly, OB helps you adopt better personal theories to understand, predict, and influence organizational events. OB knowledge is for everyone, not just managers OB theories and practices are vital to the organization's survival and success. In fact, most OB theories implicitly or explicitly try to improve organizational effectiveness, an ideal state in which an organization has a good fit with its external environment, effectively transforms inputs to outputs through human capital, and satisfies the needs of key stakeholders. Organizational behavior knowledge is highly relevant to the open systems view of organizations by identifying organizational characteristics that fit some external environments better than others. OB theories offer guidance on how to effectively transform inputs to outputs. OB is also important for organizations because it identifies ways for organizations to develop and leverage the potential of human capital, the knowledge, skills, abilities, creativity, and other valued resources that employees bring to the organization. Several organizational behavior topics also give us a better understanding of relations with stakeholders, individuals, groups, and other entities that affect or are affected by the organization's objectives and actions. This latter focus includes the role of personal values, the relatively stable evaluative beliefs that guide a person's preferences for outcomes or courses of action in a variety of situations, and corporate social responsibility, organizational activities intended to benefit society and the environment beyond the firm's immediate financial interests or legal obligations. Describe the anchors on which organizational behavior knowledge is based. The systematic research anchor states that OB knowledge should be based on systematic research consistent with evidence-based management. Systematic research. OB knowledge should be based on systematic research consistent with evidence-based management. The practical orientation anchor states that OB theories need to be useful in practice, such as by helping organizations to become more effective. The multidisciplinary anchor states that the field should develop from knowledge in other disciplines, e.g. psychology, sociology, economics, not just from its own isolated research base. The contingency anchor states that OB theories generally need to consider that there will be different consequences in different situations, the multiple levels of analysis. Anchor states that OB topics may be viewed from the individual, team, and organization levels of analysis. Summarize the workplace trends of diversity. Summarize the workplace. Diversity and inclusive workplace, work-life integration, remote work, and emerging employment relationships. An inclusive workplace values people of all identities and allows them to be fully themselves while contributing to the organization. It views diversity as a valued resource, and organizations' workforce as both surface-level diversity, observable demographic and other overt differences in people, and deep-level diversity, differences in personalities, beliefs, differences in personalities, beliefs, values, and attitudes, inclusive workplaces, produce better decisions, employee attitudes, team performance, and a host of other favorable outcomes for employees and the organization. However, diversity also poses challenges such as dysfunctional conflict and slower team development. Work-life integration refers to the degree that people are effectively engaged in their various work and non-work roles and have a low degree of role conflict across those life domains. Various work and non-work roles are inherently integrated because the physical, cognitive, and emotional resources produced or consumed by one role potentially enrich or undermine the access and enjoyment of other roles. There are several ways to maximize work-life integration, such as doing things that mix two roles, engage in flexible work scheduling, ensure that work and non-work roles are aligned with your personal characteristics, and engage in some degree of boundary management across roles. An increasing percentage of the workforce performs their job remotely, some or all of the time, rather than at the organization's physical work site. Some organizations are completely remote. Everyone works at home in cafes, and the company has no physical head office. Working remotely potentially benefits employees and employers, but there are also disadvantages. The effectiveness of remote work depends on employee, job, and organization. Most of the workforce has a direct employment relationship, working as an employee for an organization, but an increasing percentage has more fragile direct employment relationships, part-time, on-call, etc. The largest labor market growth has been indirect, outsourced/agency, and contract work. Some contractors negotiate their own contracts with the client, whereas others work through branded platform companies, e.g. Uber. These emerging employment relationships have both positive and negative consequences for job performance, job satisfaction, team dynamics, self-concept stability and clarity, and the ambiguity of managerial roles. Well, list. Describe the 4 factors that directly influence individual behavior. Describe. I don't know if we need one sentence or multiple sentences. She didn't respond to my email, or my other email. Four variables: motivation, ability, role perceptions, and situational factors, which are represented by the acronym MARS, directly influence individual behavior and performance. Motivation represents the forces within a person that affect his or her direction, intensity, and persistence of voluntary behavior. Ability includes both the natural aptitudes and the learned capabilities required to successfully complete a task. Role perceptions are the extent to which people understand the job duties, roles assigned to them, or expected of them. And situational factors include conditions beyond the employee's immediate control that constrain or facilitate behavior and performance. Summarize the 5 types of individual behavior in organizations. There are 5 main types of workplace behavior. Task performance. It refers to goal-directed behaviors under the individual's control that support organizational objectives. It includes proficiency, adaptivity, and proactivity. Organizational citizenship behaviors consist of various forms of cooperation and helpfulness to others that support the organization's social and psychological context. Counterproductive work behaviors are voluntary behaviors that have the potential to directly or indirectly harm the organization. Joining and staying with the organization refers to agreeing to become an organizational member and remaining with the organization. Maintaining work attendance includes minimizing absenteeism when capable of working and avoiding scheduled work when not fit, i.e. low presenteeism. We're done. We're done with the chapter. Whee, that was a chapter. Looks like every chapter is going to be about the same length. So, that's good. I don't see any super long chapters here. They're all, only one of them is like over 40 pages, and even then it's like, well, the one I just read is 2 to 44, so that's 42, but it was only really 30 pages. So, like this one's 42, this one's 44, this is like the longest one, so they're all basically the same length. We have finished reading the chapter. My voice hurts because I was talking the whole time. God. That was funny. That's what I was going to do today, was to do this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The syllabus does not mention discussion posts a single time. Not a single time. No discussion posts. Is it included in unit team activities? It's not a team activity, it's a discussion thing. It's discussion. It's not team activity or whatever, it's a discussion. It doesn't even include... Does it say anything about discussion posts? It gives you an in-depth description on what to do for that one. Team activity, written activity. I wonder if this syllabus was written. This syllabus may have not been written for the online version of the course. Dude, it doesn't even... Okay. Still don't really know. That's funny. 9-9. What does 9 mean? There are 9 posts and 9 replies to those posts. It says post and comment on the postings of at least 2 peers. Oh, great. Oh, great.